Hi, everyone. Hi, viewers all over the world and in South Africa. I'm Bruce Fordyce, and I'm having a little webinar, a chat to this today to somebody I'm really looking forward to talking to, and that is Nato Amaral from Brazil. Nato has run 20 Comrades marathons all around the world, but most importantly, he's the Comrades Marathon ambassador for Brazil. And he has done so much to promote the race in Brazil and to make the race a really famous race in Brazil, and to bring many Brazilians to South Africa to run. And he is a huge asset to Comrades Marathon.
Hi, Bruce. It's a big pleasure for me to be here.
Hi, Nato. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I have to tell the viewers, this shows duty beyond the call of duty, because this is the second time we've done this interview. We did a brilliant one about 10 days ago, and then we erased it for some, I don't know why, technology, we erased it. So Nato's happily agreed to do it again, and you can see he's smiling. So you've heard my introduction, but one thing I want to say straight off, the viewers may not have noticed, but Nato is wearing a Springbok jersey. So that already endears him to all the South Africans to see that I'm glad to know that he's a Springbok supporter. Nato, I told them that you've run 20 Comrades, and I thought, just for those viewers who haven't done that, this is what Nato's got, because I've got one too. He's got that, and that is what we call a double green, a double laurel for doing 20 Comrades marathons. And I know that he hasn't stopped there, and that he's going to be running some more. So who knows? Maybe there's 30, Nato, 30 Comrades?
Why not? I don't know yet. But my focus is always running my next Comrades.
Yes, because sadly, and we all know that with marathon running, you never know when it's going to be your last one. You don't know what fate has in store for you. Your dream, your plan may be 30, but sometimes other things interfere. But Nato, let's start at the beginning. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, and I'll start off by saying that Nato is an engineer, civil engineer, and he isn't one of these people who builds a little toilet block at some public park. He does massive skyscrapers and things all over Sao Paulo, because I've been there and I've seen them. So tell us just a little bit about yourself, Nato.
Oh, thank you, Bruce. As I said, it's a big pleasure. It's a big honor for me to be here speaking with you and all the listeners. So as my background, I am a civil engineer. So I work I have my own company. I drive the company. I've been driving the company for almost 10 years now. We have about 70 employees. So we drive projects. We do project management all over the country here in Brazil. So this is my professional background. And I started playing sports since I was a kid. Very young, I started swimming. And when I was 10 or 11 years old, I started playing water polo. And I played water polo for over 10 years. After water polo, I started practicing triathlon. And because of the triathlon, I got involved in the marathon world.
And Nato, when I'm going to assume, like all good Brazilians, that you played football as a youngster.
I was not good. Maybe as a dream, but I was not good at all playing football. So that's why I moved to other sports.
Well, you and I share the same problem. I love football. I love it, but I was maybe not. You were probably a lot better, but I was useless. So I always found out that if there's a ball involved, it's not going to involve me. So Nato, how did you find out about Comrades? How did you learn about our great race?
It was an interesting story, Bruce, because my coach, I am part of a running club here in São Paulo, and my coach ran his first Comrades in 1999. and not only him, but a group of athletes he was coaching at that time, a group of 7 to 8 people. So at that time, he said to me, there is a race named Comrades Marathon in South Africa, blah, blah, blah. And one day you get prepared to run this race. And I did my first one in 2001. That's how I heard about the Comrades for the first time.
Well, that's amazing. So did you just go straight into Comrades? I mean, did you obviously you had to run a marathon to qualify, but did you just go bang, 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 straight Comrades?
But when I ran my first Comrades, I had to run just 4 or 5 standard marathons before running my first Comrades.
And I mean, did you have any idea what it would be like, or was Comrades a big surprise when you got there?
It's a rough idea, not a big surprise, because I knew some information about the route course, the Big 5, and the temperature during the race, but it's not completely a surprise for me. Anyway, when you face the race in Rio, it's completely different from what we are wondering to run.
And I mean, did you think that it would be as big as it is, with the spectators and the number of runners and that sort of thing?
No. This is a good point. I couldn't believe how big it was. That's why when I ran my first Comrades, I took the decision to run at least 10 to go for the green number. And I got my green number into 2011.
Okay, so your first Comrades was a down run. 2001 was a down run. That I'm correct.
That's correct. That's correct.
But of the two, which do you prefer, the up or the down? Which one do you like the most?
I like most the down, but for me, the up it hurts much less.
Yes, I mean, I think I should point out to the viewers that Nato is not a small guy. So the small guys and girls, they seem to suffer a little bit less because I suppose there's less weight. But Nato must really pound, really pound going down those steep hills.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So next year's up. In fact, by the time we send this out, it will be next year. It'll be 2026. Have you started training already?
Yes, just base training, just to keep my body going. But specific training for the Comrades in January, I'm going to start.
Yeah, okay, in January you start going seriously. Okay. One thing that I found very fascinating when we spoke last time, the discussion that we lost, that's been erased, is that I thought it was very, very interesting, and it's certainly, I've been giving it some thought, because you say you don't run every day, you don't train every day.
That's correct, Bruce. This is one point that I have seriously put on my mind and my running career, because I'm 54 years old, and my body doesn't heal well when I run many days in a row. So normally I run one every other day, basically, and not consecutive days. It's good for me, for my body recovery, not only for the muscles, but also for the joints.
Yeah, I think you've taught me something, because you're a youngster if you're 54. I'm 70 now, and I've started to think about listening to you and getting some advice from you, that I also need to start taking rest days on a fairly regular basis, which doesn't mean that I'm an exercise junkie. So if I have a rest day, then I'll get on my bicycle and go for a ride, but I won't run. And I'm hoping that's going to give me a bit of a lease of life. So Nato, in the days when you train, obviously I assume you do the long runs. You have to do the long runs.
Definitely, yes. During my preparation for the Comrades, normally I run from 60 to 50 kilometers a week, including one long run.
Yes.
The long run starts from 20-25 to 60 Ks.
Yes. Okay. And how do you manage to do something like a 60K run? Because I've been to Sao Paulo. I mean, I've been a guest at your house, and it's been wonderful to be there. But it's a busy place. I mean, I can't describe to South Africans who haven't been there. Take Johannesburg, put it on steroids. Maybe that's not a good image to think of when we talk about running, but think of Johannesburg times 10. You know, with skyscrapers and big streets, and it's hard. I've run around a local park that you have close to your place, but to do 60Ks, how do you do that?
Oh, so I have two strategies, Bruce. One, in the suburbs of São Paulo, there are some big parks or old roads, very old roads. We can run there safely. Normally, we go with a group of friends, 10 to 15 people, and a support crew giving hydration for us. And this is one of the strategies. And the other strategy is to travel to Cape Town and run the two oceans.
Okay, yeah. Of course, I forgot to mention that. You've done, how many two oceans have you done now, Nato?
Now 6. In 2026, it will be on my number 7.
Oh dear. So you are hoping, I know, because I know you, to add the blue number to the green number.
That's right. As I said to you before, Bruce, in the beginning, I was saying to my wife, let's go to Cape Town, beautiful city, we can travel, we can drink some wine. And then I run the two oceans. And now she knows I'm going for the blue number.
So that Cape Town was the excuse to persuade her to come with you.
That's right.
And then she only found out, what did she only find out when you got there, that it's the same weekend as two oceans?
Yeah, last year she realized it. No, I think he's going to run 10 two oceans. That's no excuse now.
But you've also done quite a few international marathons. I mean, we've run London together, but you've done others, New York and a couple of others.
Yeah, I love it. I've done New York, the Duppy Challenge in Orlando, Florida. I run Chicago, Berlin, Amsterdam, Valencia, plenty of them. And this year I ran both the Marine Corps in Washington, D.C., and the following week, the New York City Marathon.
Okay, so how did you find that? Because you did Marine Corps in Washington, and a week later, New York. Was that not too many marathons too close, or were you okay?
I was okay because I hold the pace on the first marathon. It was the Marine Corps, and in the week between both of them, I got some rest, and in 2 of the days I did some swim at the gym, so it was nice for me to recover. And I run New York faster than I run Marine Corps.
Okay, so obviously 2 oceans this year, and Comrades. I mean, I'm saying this year because I'm saying it's 2026, and it's a funny thing. Have you noticed with Comrades runners, when the Comrades is finished, it becomes last year's race, even though it might still be, you might be sitting in September. It's last year, and this year is the next one that's coming. Yeah. So and I forgot to ask you, what is your best time?
It was 8 hours.
And that's a Bill Rowan.
Yes, Bill Rowan. I have 6 Bill Rowans.
And the others all are what?
Robert Micali, bronze, and 2 Viclapham. I have 2 Viclapham exactly on the same years I did the Unaguaja Challenge. That for those who don't know what it is.
Tell us about the Unaguaja Challenge. Tell us about that, because I think a lot of people don't know that. I don't think they do it anymore.
It's interesting. In 1931, there is a South African guy named Phil Masterton Smith. He won the Comrades Marathon at the age of 19. It was 1931. 2 years later, he didn't have money to travel from Cape Town to Pietermaritzburg. So he cycled instead and run the race. He cycled in 10 days and run the race on the following day and finish it 10th. This guy died at the Second World War. His nickname was Unogwaja. It's a Zulu name for the hare, the rabbit, the hare. So in 2011, a group of South Africans created a challenge for charity, named Unogwaja Challenge. And I took part in 2014 and 2015. So I cycled from Cape Town to Pietermaritzburg in 10 days in a group of 10 to 12 people. And then on the following day, we ran the Comrades Marathon. Did all of this for charity. It was a phenomenal.
It's astonishing. I mean, as you said, Phil Marston Smith, he won in 1931. And it was the closest ever Comrades Marathon before Tommy Malone and Marnie Kuhn were split by 1 second. He beat Noel Burry by 2 seconds. So the year he won by 2 seconds. And as you pointed out, Nato, sadly, he was killed in action. He was a soldier in the Second World War and he was killed. And that is, of course, the reason that Comrades was started, to remember Vic Clapham's comrades who died and fought with him in the First World War. So Phil Marston Smith was one winner who died in the Comrades. The other one was actually Frank Sutton, who won in 1928. He was also a casualty of the Second World War. That challenge was, is that when you ran the Vic Clapham medal because you were tired?
That's right. I was completely tired. So I ran in 11 hours and 35 minutes or something.
Nothing wrong with that. It's still a finish. And it's,
yes.
By the way, it's a medal I haven't got. I haven't got the Vic Clapham.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I know that. I have two.
You can boast. You can say even Bruce Fordyce doesn't have one of these. Now, I'll tell you, yeah. But there are other races in Brazil. I mean, there are marathons there that you can use to qualify. Is that right? There's
a lot of now. Currently in Brazil, there are over 50 marathons in Brazil. Almost every weekend, we can find a marathon in the country. Yes.
And when I went and found it. Nato, I went and found it when I went to visit Sao Paulo. You took me to a place called Uberlândia, where hardly any Brazilians have been, and I got this. This T-shirt. Yeah, so fantastic. I've still got it. Yeah, and cool. I did the half marathon there. And my wife Jill, amazingly, if you remember, she came second in the 10K in the ladies.
I remember
over 50. Yes, that was a great trip, and I can tell you, viewers, if you want to go to an amazing country, Brazil. I mean, and thanks to your generosity, Jill and I are very keen bird spotters. So we keen twitchers, as we call them in the birding world. And if you think there are birds in South Africa, I think your friend found a small patch of forest just outside Sao Paulo, and we saw 150. Your plans for next year, yeah, as you said, 2 Oceans and Comrades. What you will run some other marathons as well, is that right?
Yes, exactly this one you just mentioned, the Nilson Lima in Uberlândia, the marathon.
You're going to do that?
Yes, it's a very good date for us preparing to the Comrades, because it will be on the 17th of May, exactly 4 weeks before the Comrades.
So if I advise people and they say, should they do it? I say 4 weeks to go is the very last time you can do 40Ks. After that, you need to be cutting back and resting and whatever. So I assume you're going to do that one just as a training run. You're not going to go hard there.
That's right, a training run. And my plan for 2026 is the 2 Oceans in April, the Uberlândia Marathon in May, the Comrades in June, and in December, I plan to do a race here in Chile and Argentina. The name is El Cruce de los Andes, similar to crossing the Andes mountains. It's a 100K race in 3 days. And I want to do this. I want to do this you can do this by yourself or in teams of 2. My plan is to run with Marcel, our friend from Cape Town.
Oh, with Marcel. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, good luck. It'll be an interesting trip. You're gonna be the strong one. No, Marcel's a very generous, great friend of ours. But you can tell him you're going to be the. You better check that he's training before you get there in December. One thing I also neglected to mention, Nato, is that there's a medal that you and I have got, which very, very few people have got in Comrades, and that is the Spirit of Comrades medal, which is a Comrades medal but in platinum. And tell us why you received that medal, that you were given that medal.
It was, for me, it was one of the biggest accomplishments of my whole life to have this honor to be awarded with the Spirit of Comrades award. So it was in 2023, and given my contribution to the race, so all my involvement, not only the race itself, but the whole spirit of Comrades, meaning the charity, the build-up of the race. I mean, the growth of the race in Brazil and the other countries. I was one of the selected person to get this award. So for me, it was a completely, something I will never forget in my whole life, because it was very special to go to South Africa to have this award.
Well, I can say, Nato, because I saw they filmed. Your speech was unbelievable. Your acceptance speech for the award was unbelievable. It was absolutely brilliant. And if you were doing your English oral, you would have got an A+, because it was absolutely brilliant, and it was deserved. I mean, because Nato's done so much to build the race in Brazil. I mean, Nato, just tell me now, roughly how many Brazilians come to Comrades now?
Last year, 2025, it was nearly 200. I think it was 181, I think. But our goal for the 2027 edition, the 100th edition of the Comrades next year, 27, is to bring to South Africa 300 Brazilians.
Wow. Okay. So where does that rank? So 300, or as you say at the moment, 150. Where does that rank you internationally with the other countries? We
basically nearly the top five international countries, together with Russia, Zimbabwe, India, UK, and Brazil. I think those are. Yeah, I think those are the top 5.
And Australia?
Australia behind us, and the United States behind us as well.
Okay, I mean, that's just incredible. And Nato, it's Brazil is a passionate Comrades country, but the other South American countries, I know you have helped some people, but like Argentina and that, they don't, or they send a few. Is that right?
Very few, just 2 or 3. Not many at all.
Okay.
And any other country in South America, Bruce, is nothing compared to Brazil. Brazil brings to South Africa nearly 200 runners, and if you sum all the others, maybe 10 or 15.
Okay. If you added them all together, that's how many. Do you assist those runners at all, or do they do their own thing to get there?
Just a little bit, because some of the countries have their own ambassador, so they do their job.
Okay.
So I'm mostly involved here with the Brazilian guys, the Brazilian runners, not only because of this is the place I live, but also because of the language. For those who doesn't, Brazil is the only country in South America that is a Portuguese-speaking country. All the others are Spanish speaking.
And by the way, I should point out also to the viewers something that's just struck me. Nato is very good at promoting the race by inviting some of us to go to Brazil and speak there and be guest speakers or to run there in Sao Paulo. I know you've had me a couple of times. Louis Massain has been over.
Yes.
Marcel, as you mentioned, Marcel.
Luis Massin has been here in 3 years ago, I think, at the Rio Marathon. He attended the Rio Marathon. It is a big race here in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, as I said. And my plan, Bruce, in a few years is to bring Herda, if I can.
Yeah, so I'm sure Herda will come, you know. And she's, as you know, she's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful ambassador for the race. I mean, not an ambassador in the way that you are, but she's, I mean, I think she's the future of the race. And at one stage she asked me, would I please think about writing a book about her? And I said, why would I write a book about you, Herda? You're about halfway through your career at this stage. You still have a lot of things to do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's just talk briefly. I mean, maybe Brazil's not associated with distance running in the same way that the Kenyans or the Ethiopians, but you have that wonderful story of your runner who was leading the Olympic marathon and then was crash tackled by an insane person who pulled him off the course.
It was the Olympic marathon, and the runner, the Brazilian runner who was leading the race, his name is Vanderlei Cordeiro de Lima, and he was attacked by a crazy man. It's a priest from Ireland, I think. Yes, so he was attacked, but regardless, he finished third, celebrating, but he got the bronze medal. And afterwards, he got the Baron de Coubertin. That's like a Spirit of Olympics medal. Very few people in the world got this medal.
Yeah, that I remember that particularly well because I met him, as you pointed out. We were at the airport. We were at the airport in Sao Paulo, and he walked past.
Yes.
And this is amazing. I mean, you're leading the Olympic marathon, you get attacked by a madman, you fall down, you get slightly injured, the lead goes, the silver medal goes, but you keep on running, and he landed up with the bronze medal. I think that's probably, he's the bigger hero. I think it was an Italian who won that marathon, but he must be
Italian.
He must be very angry. Yeah, because he wasn't the story of the day.
We met him at the airport because the day you landed in Sao Paulo, it was the same day most of the runners was going to Paris to run the Paris Marathon in April. And he was with a group of runners. That's why we met him in a cafe at the airport.
That's right. Do you think he would ever come and run Comrades, or has he retired now?
No, he isn't retired, but he just run for fun, just for promotion. He runs, but I don't know. Another interesting story is another Brazilian guy named Marilson. Marilson is a Brazilian who won twice the New York City Marathon in 2006 and 2008. So 2 wins for the Brazilian in New York.
Okay. That shows that the Brazilian marathon runners are underrated. I mean, from running, apart from the bronze medalists, my only knowledge of the Brazilian runners is
Marilson in 2006. He was the underdog for the New York City Marathon, and he won the race. It was amazing for us.
Okay, well, it just shows, Brazil. And do those runners, do they go to high altitude, Nato? to train?
They do. Probably in Chile, I think. Here in South America, there is a place in Chile for them to train. So they stay there training for 3 or 4 weeks, and before going to New York.
Okay. Yeah, they'd have to. I mean, do you ever think, or you would never get that serious that you need to come to Johannesburg and train up here at altitude and stay at the Fordyce? Obviously, that's for the elite runners. But I do need to tell the viewers one thing, and that is that that you have been and stayed at us for a while, and that was in 2010 with the Football World Cup, where you came to watch your beloved Brazil play, and I think you and Josie, your wife, got the biggest shock ever because you didn't think that Johannesburg, that Africa could be that cold in July, and it was freezing.
-2, Bruce, at this stadium in Alice.
We went all the way to watch Brazil play Portugal in Durban.
Yes, with Cristiano Ronaldo,
and everybody said that's going to be the game.
Yeah.
Yes, and
it
Kaká was playing for Brazil, and it was, and yeah, we went all the way down. We were so excited, and the final score was 0-0. And I think all of us were a bit cynical because both teams needed 1 point. Both teams needed 1 point to go through to the next round, and it was almost like the two managers met each other on the field and said, "You don't attack us, and we won't attack you, and we'll be happy we'll go 0-0." Yeah, the two managers hugged each other at the end of the game because they got what they wanted. And then the only possible time they could meet after that was in the final.
And Bruce, so another just one point, another coincidence from that World Cup in South Africa in 2010. The opening game was South Africa, Mexico. And this year in Mexico, the opening game will be Mexico against South Africa.
We're playing Mexico again.
Yes.
But you know what was wonderful, and I'm sure you'll agree, we knew we're never going to win the World Cup. South Africa's not going to win the World Cup. But what we did know is that we didn't want to embarrass ourselves because we were automatically finalists, because if you're the host, you're into the finals. And so we just wanted to play with pride. And I don't think I've ever heard such a noise as when Screamer Shabalala scored the first goal against Mexico. And then we were all shouting and screaming, not because we think we're going to win the World Cup, but because we knew it was going to be okay. You know, that we're going to be fine. We're going to hold our heads up with pride. We'll get knocked out, but we'll perform well. I think you guys were probably more disappointed because you could win it. And in the end, Spain won it. So, yeah. I mean, the Brazilian side is just unbelievable. Nato, do you ever get recognized? You know, I'm just wondering, when you're walking in the streets, do runners ever come up to you and say, "Are you Nato Amaral, winner of the Spirit of Comrades Award?"
Not because of the Spirit of Comrades, but because being a Comrades runner, I'm very well known here in Brazil for the Comrades. So many times people come to me and speak to me, or can I have a photo or something like that.
Okay, David Becker of São Paulo.
Definitely not.
You're famous. But when you run, do you wear your Comrades or your Two Oceans logos or anything?
Frequently. Mostly the Comrades, not too much time, not too many Two Oceans, but the Comrades.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you next year. What are your plans this time? Are you? I mean, you're going to Two Oceans, but then when you come to South Africa, I know you quite often you like to go to the game reserves or you go to Cape Town. Have you got plans this time, or is it just going to be come in and then go home?
Bruce, given the last year when I got my double green number, I travel a lot after the double green number. This year I'm going to Two Oceans just for a week with my wife Josie. Yes. And when I go in June again for the Comrades, I go by myself. So just for a week as well, and then fly back to Brazil because we will probably have a family trip to the US in June or July, just after the Comrades. That's why I'm not spending too much time in South Africa this year.
It hasn't. Your family trip hasn't got anything to do with the World Cup by any chance?
But unfortunately not. I would love to, but unfortunately not.
It'll be just your luck. That'll be the year Brazil win, and you won't be there.
Yeah, and you know, Bruce, the first match of Brazil on the World Cup will be the day before but at midnight in South Africa.
Wow,
I will be sleeping.
Midnight in South. So you will be running the next morning.
That's right. I'm not watching the game. I wake up for the race and know the result, because I'm not going to watch the game at midnight the day before the Comrades. Actually, the day of the.
So I want to finish off by just talking about the big elephant in the room. If I can discuss that, being a South African, the big elephant in the room is 2027. You know, do you have any special plans for 2027 for the 100th?
But basically what I told you shortly ago, to bring about 300 Brazilians to the race. But we are very not concerned, but we are a bit anxious to know how will be the criteria of the Comrades Marathon Association to open the entries for the internationals, for the green numbers, for those who are going for green number, those who have 9 medals under her belt, and those who are going for the back-to-back. So we are very, very anxious, because what happened in 25, it was a big surprise. It was sold out in few hours. 22,000 entries, so sold out in few hours. It was. I'm
a winner of Comrades Marathon, but I'm not one of the officials or whatever. And so what I say you can't take as the gospel truth, but I would be extremely surprised if they rejected any foreign runners, because, and by that I mean runners from Australia, from Brazil, from anywhere around the world, from Japan, because they want Comrades to become more and more of an international race. They want it to be an international race. That's why people like you are very important to Comrades, because of your contribution from the Brazilian side. So I would be surprised if they rejected any foreign runner. So I think when they decide on how many they can cope with for 2027, they're going to say, okay, we're taking all the foreign runners. And then to be completely commercial, you guys pay in dollars. You pay more than a South African to run.
Much
so
more.
They want you because it's an international flavor, and they want you because you're bringing your tourism and your money. So yes. I think I'm not the voice, but I think you can tell your 300 prospective runners that the chances of them not running are very small. You know, they're going to run. I would be more concerned if I was the local South African runner.
I hope so, Bruce.
And then the back-to-back, they're not going to throw out a back-to-back. I have heard that people who have done 20 or more, they may not take them because they'll say they've done too many now. I'm only joking. Nato, don't get worried.
I'm doing anyway, Bruce. I will be the first to enter the race.
I think, Nato, that they will also reward all the green numbers. I think anybody who is a green number, you know, anyone who's got one of these, they're going to say thank you for your loyalty to the race, and that includes South Africans. So I would imagine green numbers will get in automatically because they've supported the race for many years. Last question, Nato. So you ran your first one in 2001. Have you noticed any changes in that time? Has the race got bigger or better organized, or are there any changes, or is it still the same race that you ran in 2001?
No, definitely better organized. The structure, the race got bigger during this period of over 20 years, and the organization is prime. The organization is absolutely one of the best in the world if you compare to any other major marathons.
And I think I've also, like you, I've run a few of the overseas races. I think probably one of the places where the difference is, where you really see it, is how good the tables are. The refreshment tables are very good.
Yes.
As far as what you can get there. You know, you can get anything from fruit to any drink you want,
Yes.
to whatever
Yeah.
whatever you need. Whereas a lot of the overseas races, it's just water, or it's
That's
water
right.
and the sponsors drink. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, Nato, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of viewers are going to really enjoy it, especially seeing runners from around the world and seeing the enthusiasm. So thanks very much, Nato. On behalf of all the Comrades runners in South Africa, thank you for what you've done to help grow our race. Your Spirit of Comrades Award is thoroughly deserved, and I think all Comrades runners in South Africa will agree, and we look forward to seeing you in June.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much. For me, as I said, it's a big honor to be here. And, South Africa is my second country. I love South Africa. If I wasn't born in Brazil, I definitely would be a South African citizen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nato. Thank you and goodbye, and we'll chat soon. See you in June, if not before.